We tend to think about AI as just another tool, right? Something that helps us get our work done a little faster, a little smarter. But what if it's way more than that? What if we're actually watching an evolution unfold in these really distinct stages that are going to fundamentally reshape not just our jobs, but the whole concept of work itself? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. So let's just start with a question that gets right to the point. How long will your job, the one you do every day, the skills you've spent years building up, how long will that actually belong to a human? Because the answer, it turns out, depends completely on which era of AI we're talking about. So here's our roadmap for this whole explainer. It's basically broken down into 3 phases, and each one is radically different. First, we have the ANI era, the age of augmentation. That's what's happening right now, and it'll probably last until about 2030. Then, things get really interesting with the AGI era of autonomy, kicking off around 2030. And finally, we look way out to the ASI era of transcendence, which is projected for 2040 and beyond. To make this real, we're going to use the mobile carrier industry as a running example so you can see how these massive shifts play out. All right, let's dive into this first era, the age of ANI, which stands for Artificial Narrow Intelligence. This is the generative AI we're all playing with today. Look, it's not a thinking being, not even close. It's an incredibly powerful tool that's built for one single purpose: insane efficiency.
AI has its superpowers for sure. It's a master of language, images, writing code, and analyzing data. And what that means is that any job that relies on predictable, routine brain work, well, that's the low-hanging fruit. It's the first in line for automation, and the productivity gains are just going to be dramatic.
And you can already see this happening. In a company like a mobile carrier, customer service and sales are getting hit the hardest. I mean, with large language models that can handle customer questions 24/7, you could see up to 80% of those tier 1 call center jobs just vanish. In the tech department, AI is automating network log analysis, predicting problems before they happen, and in marketing, it's churning out ad copy and images in seconds. Okay, so when you see that, the immediate question is, what do I do, right? If all the routine parts of my job are being automated away, where do I even provide value anymore? The whole key is to shift your position. You have to change your relationship with the technology. So there are basically 3 core survival strategies here. First, become an AI orchestrator. Don't just use the AI, learn to design and manage the systems that use it. Be the puppet master. Second, specialize in high-touch skills. These are the things AI just can't do, like handling really complex emotional customer complaints or building those deep client relationships that need real empathy. And third, be a field supervisor, the person on the ground who oversees the drones and robots that AI is controlling in the real world. All right, let's jump forward to the next phase, starting around 2030. This is where the game completely changes. AI evolves from a tool you use into an autonomous colleague you work alongside. Welcome to the AGI era, or Artificial General Intelligence. Now, it is absolutely crucial to understand this difference. AGI isn't just a little better. It can perform any intellectual task a human can. You don't give it prompts anymore. You give it goals. You tell it launch a new phone plan, and it figures out the marketing, the logistics, the pricing, everything. This is a seismic shift from assistant to potential replacement. And the impact is just staggering. With AGI, those routine jobs we talked about, they're now nearly 100% automated. But look, now even the creative and strategic roles are heavily impacted. An AGI can devise a whole new corporate strategy on its own. And when you pair it with advanced robotics, it can manage the physical construction of a brand new cell tower network from start to finish. So this brings us to this huge, almost philosophical question for this era. If an AGI is smarter than you, faster than you, more logical than you, and it can execute any plan flawlessly, what is left for us to do? I mean, really, what value can a human possibly provide? This is where the whole idea of human value flips on its head. It moves away from doing the work and toward taking responsibility for the work. The new jobs are about oversight and humanity. The AGI governance officer is the one who's legally on the hook for the AI's decisions. The experience designer creates these wonderfully, inefficiently human moments for high-value clients who still crave that connection. And the specialist? That's the person you call at 3 a.m. when the AGI faces a wild, unprecedented physical crisis that it just can't solve on its own. And now, we enter the most speculative, the most mind-bending era of all, starting around 2040. This is ASI, or artificial superintelligence. This is not a tool. This isn't a colleague. This is a level of intelligence so far beyond ours, it's almost like a new form of existence on the planet. Let's just try to get our heads around the scale here. We are not talking about an AI that's smarter than the smartest person. We're talking about an intelligence that is vastly superior to the combined brain power of every single human who has ever lived. It will probably invent entire fields of science we can't even begin to comprehend. And this is where ASI's incredible intelligence becomes physical. It works through nano-robots, these microscopic, self-replicating machines that can build, repair, and literally reconfigure matter at the molecular level. So a telecom network, it wouldn't be built by people or even by big robots anymore. It would be grown and maintained by swarms of these nanobots, essentially becoming a self-healing, self-improving, living organism. So when you have an ASI that can manage all of our societal infrastructure, the energy grids, the communication networks, food production, everything, the economic need for human work just becomes obsolete. It's gone. The system runs itself with a level of efficiency and foresight we could never dream of. The age of labor as we've known it for thousands of years simply ends. So what on earth does humanity do when we no longer have to work to survive? Our purpose shifts completely. We become creators of meaning. We pursue art, stories, philosophy. We rediscover our own bodies through sports and crafts, things that have no efficient purpose at all. And maybe, just maybe, our most important role becomes being the ethical anchor, providing the messy, illogical, but essential human perspective in a constant dialogue with ASI's perfect logic. Okay, let's zoom out and pull all three of these eras together. I want you to see the full arc of this transformation, from the tools that we're just starting to build today to a future that is, well, almost beyond our imagination. This table right here, this is the whole story in a nutshell. Look at the progression. In the ANI era, AI is a tool, and our job is to use it well. In the AGI era, it becomes our autonomous partner, and our focus shifts to supervising it and taking responsibility. And finally, in the ASI era, AI just becomes the infrastructure of society itself, and our focus turns completely inward, to philosophy, to meaning, because the very concept of employment is gone.
And this really brings us to the final thought. For all of human history, our progress, even our survival, has been defined by our search for answers. But we are speeding towards a future where a supreme intelligence can provide us with any answer we could possibly need. So the new challenge for humanity, the thing that will define us, it's no longer about finding the answers. It's about deciding which questions are truly worth asking.